Hello everyone, today I'm sharing with you outsourced graphic design for main images. What are the platform's review pitfalls? This is a problem many merchants only realize after their main images are taken down, traffic restricted, or repeatedly rejected. Because the reality is often, the image isn't ugly, it's eye-catching, and the conversion logic is correct. But once uploaded, it fails, review is rejected, replacement fails. You might think it's because the platform is getting stricter, but the truth is, 80% of main image failures aren't design problems, but rather stepping on review pitfalls. First, the conclusion. Main images aren't something you can do however you want, but rather playing the game within the rules. Many outsourced graphic designers have the following problems: only understand visuals, don't understand platform rules, don't understand which areas are absolutely off limits. The result is many revisions to the image, but not a single one passes review. Main image review is essentially a set of hard boundaries. Crossing the line, certain death, it has nothing to do with whether it looks good or not. 2. The 4 most common pitfalls for outsourced main images, applicable to all platforms. First, let's talk about the common pitfalls, applicable to almost all platforms including Taobao, Tmall, Douyin, and JD.com. Pitfall 1. Extreme words, absolute expressions, high-frequency failure, best, first, top-tier, lowest price online, 100% thorough, permanent, zero risk. Even phrases like better, stronger, significant effect. In some categories, these may be considered violations. The text in the main image must be more restrained than on the product details page. Danger Zone 2. Implied efficacy, plus medical associations, hidden high risk. Many outsourcing companies unconsciously use treatment, improvement, repair, relief before and after effect photos, organ illustrations, medical symbols. Even if you don't explicitly state the efficacy, as long as the image implies it, it may be considered a violation. In the main image, it's better to not say than look like you're saying. Danger Zone 3. Improper expression of price, promotional information. Common problems include get it for XX when without any conditions, unsubstantiated price lines, provocative words like limited time offer, limited quantity offer, grab it now, etc. The platform's requirements for the main image are not misleading, not creating a false sense of urgency. The main image is not an event page. The more promotional information, the higher the risk. Pitfall 4. Exaggerated contrasts and misleading visuals. For example, overly magnified product effects, proportions inconsistent with actual specifications, presenting an image that looks twice as big as competitors. Even without text, if the image might mislead users, it risks being rejected. 3. Taobao Tmall main images, common pitfalls. If you're working within the Taobao system, pay special attention to these points. Pitfall: too much information, like a nuisance. Taobao reviewers strongly dislike dense text in the main image, emphasizing multiple colors simultaneously, information overshadowing the product itself. The result is often not just a violation, but a direct impact on search ranking. Pitfall: excessive proportion of non-product elements. For example, models stealing the show. Overly complex scenes. Decorations outweighing the product platform requirements are, the product must be the absolute focus. IV. Douyin main. Images, product cards, the most common pitfalls. Douyin's pitfalls are not entirely the same as Taobao's. Pitfall 1. Overly advertisement-like. Strong selling points, large headlines, promotional bombardment. On Douyin, this not only affects conversion rates, but may also lead to system penalties. Pitfall 2. Inconsistent content and product. For example, the cover shows a scene, but clicking on it reveals a different product. Douyin is very sensitive to content consistency. V. Why are outsourced graphic designers particularly prone to review issues? Because many outsourced designers don't take responsibility for uploading, don't look at the reasons for rejection, deliver based solely on aesthetics. But the reality is, whether the main image is compliant is itself part of the delivery quality. 6. A safety checklist for outsourced main image review. You can use these 6 points as alignment standards before outsourcing. 1. Do not use any extreme words or phrases. 2. Do not use before and after comparison images. 3. Do not imply medical treatment efficacy. 4. Do not exaggerate size effects. 5. Do not make promotions the main information. 6. The product should always be the main subject of the image. If you avoid these 6 points, the probability of your main image passing review will be very high. 7. One sentence that must be clarified before outsourcing. You can directly tell the outsourcing team, main image review safety is the top priority. We'd rather be restrained than cross the line. Conversion depends on structure, not on provocative words. This sentence can help you avoid 90% of the hidden risks. A word of truth for merchants whose main image submissions are rejected for the first time. The platform isn't targeting you personally, but rather, you're using a design perspective. The platform is using a risk perspective. When you start using whether it will pass the review as your primary criterion, the main image issue actually becomes much simpler. In short, the biggest pitfall of outsourcing main images isn't that they're unattractive, but that they're not compliant. Remember this: the main image isn't where you put in the effort, but rather it's where you should be most restrained. When the main image achieves no crossing the line, no misleading, no provocative, it can truly become a safe asset with stable exposure, long-term usability, and no need for repeated rework.